Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Always and welcome back to Stoneblock 3. In the last episode, we were working on automation with Create, and we made a system, ignore those two things right there, that takes gravel and mills it and automatically pumps it out and puts it in here. Now I have smelted up a lot of iron and zinc, half a stack of iron and 16 zinc already, and getting ready for today. And speaking of getting ready for today, we have a giant slime that wants to greet us. Last time we also got some string from industrial hemp, which is why we have this whole grassy area, and ooh, we got loot. And yeah, so today the plan is this. We are going to work on getting an encased fan, so that we can wash sand, dust, and gravel if we want. Also that we can get some clay and get some botany pots, because those are super powerful and it's what I want. So that's what we're gonna work on. So let's just start off by making a hopper. I love this recipe where we can actually use oak logs instead of a chest to make a hopper. I wish the vanilla game would have that because it would be so nice. And you might have already noticed I put a chute and a chest here because we're going to try to put a fan basically right here. And it's going to have the water. So we're going to be doing washing. But let's make the fan first. So we need an andesite casing, a shaft, and a propeller. Now, most of those are actually pretty easy to make. So the first thing we're going to need is I have a bunch of andesite. We're going to take a bunch of zinc, and we are going to make just a bunch of andesite alloy. Now, there are better ways to make this later, where we can... not that, make it with a 1-to-1 ratio instead of a 2-to-1, but for now this is fine. It works just fine. I don't care. We're out renewable resources. I'd have to go dig andesite, which is not a big deal, or we'd have to smelt up the zinc that we're getting. So what we need to do is we need to make an andesite casing, which requires one of these alloys. And I gotta actually grab the alloy, and we need to put a log down and strip it, and then we put the alloy on there, and that makes the casing. That is pretty straightforward and easy. Kind of neat. I like interactive things. So shaft is just 2 alloys. Go ahead and make that, and then the propeller for the fan, which seems to be the most important thing, is an alloy with some iron sheets. So we need 4 iron turned into sheets. And eventually we'll be able to make that an easier way as well. But we'll get the propeller, casing, shaft, and there is an encased fan, which is a quest. So let's go ahead and turn that in. We're going to get a random reward, an ender chest. We already have 2 of those. That's fine. They'll be useful later, let's be honest. So it wants us to get some resources from washing gravel, sand, dust, or soul sand. And what we're going to do, what I actually want more than anything, is clay. And to get clay, we need to wash sand. Now, we're getting sand when we mill our gravel. So if we look at gravel and we look at the milling, we get a 40% chance of sand. Now we can make sand directly from using our hammers on dirt, and that works great. So why would we want to keep the sand that we're getting as basically a byproduct from our gravel when we could just go ahead and wash it? So I want to put the fan here. Now if we ponder on this fan, and I want to see this part. So you can process items When you send the fan through a liquid or lava or fire, it does different things. So airflow through water creates washing, and that's what we want. Now the question is, can we place the fan here, and will it work like I want it to? All right, first of all, it faces you. All right, that is fine. And then we're just going to need, this is not going to work with where it's at currently. So we're gonna have to do some stuff with the whole cogwheels and whatnot. Because what we need is we're gonna want to have, let's put it like here. So we're gonna want this thing, I guess it would be here, like so. And is that not properly faced? Oh, shifting is putting it backwards, and I have a bad habit of shifting when I play stuff. So we need that there, and then we're going to want a cogwheel here, and we're going to want to have, basically we're going to want to move things over yonder. So we're going to need a couple more cogwheels. How do we make those again? Plank and a shaft. That works just fine. And we'll make 2, see if this is enough, so that we can do this. So we can do this. And then we're going to need at least one more. Perfect. Except for the fact that it is pulling and not pushing. So we need to have this go the other direction. And I am, I'll be honest, too tired to think of how to do that. So we need to spin this to spin this way, which means we need something else. Its connector going that way. So I guess what we could do is, I mean, we could always move it over one, but that's going to interfere with this. I'm going to have to redo this setup, aren't I? So, you know what? Let's just go ahead, and I'm going to do that. Now, this belt can definitely be longer, so what I'm going to end up doing is moving things around so that it looks a little bit nicer, and then we'll have a chute so that we can put whatever we want to process. We throw dirt on here, for example. It goes just fine. And then we can make things work nicely. I want these on the same belt because the washing that we're going to be doing doesn't affect anything that we'll be getting from milling, except for the sand. And that's, I mean, we want to turn the sand into other things. The only question I have left is whether or not, let's just do a test real quick. So we should be able to put this here, and then we can put the fan here. Don't shift click. Put the fan there, and now it is blowing this way. And then if we dig a hole here, that should work just fine. We should be able to do something like this. Okay, it worked, but not as nice and neat as I wanted it to. Alright, that's better. And then I just want to see, actually, what happens if we put sand here? It does not travel long enough. Okay. Kind of anticipated that. Let's go grab a little bit of gravel. And I believe I still have, yeah, I have plenty more. And let's throw some gravel in here so it gets milled. And then, are the conveyor belts slow enough if we have something? So it's not going to do anything to that, but it's not slow enough. Otherwise, the fan is not... actually, pondering on the fan told us something. I didn't show you guys this, but I saw it. So, when processing things, the speed of the fan does not affect the processing speed, only the range. So, we need... Does having block there do anything? Probably not. Okay, so I think what we're going to do is not worry about making things all compact and whatnot. We need to have things be a little bit different. And so I'm going to have to look into things a little bit with the conveyor belts because I don't think... What we might want to do is have... I don't know. I don't know how I want to do it yet. So, I'll tell you guys what. I'm going to play around with this a little bit and see if I can't figure out something that will have both the millstone and the washing. The bulk washing is, I believe, what it's called. Yes. We don't really need smoking because that's just to cook food. Don't really care about that right now. Blasting is cool and all, but I don't think we need that either right now. Let's just make sure that we can smelt those up. Okay. So there's going to be some things that's going to be a pain. And then haunting is going to be very niche usage. I believe we can turn... I think the main thing is to turn sand into more soul sand, because getting soul sand to begin with is a little bit more complicated. So it's going to be better to be able to do bulk haunting for that. So I'm going to figure out something to try to turn the sand into what we want. And I don't believe anything that we're getting. So these are the only 4 things we're getting from the millstone, and none of these are affected by the washing other than the sand. So that is perfect. Yep. Okay. So I am going to figure out some system and figure out some way to make it work, and I will bring you guys back in once I have that done. Alright, so I think I have our problem figured out. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to turn our conveyor belt, and hopefully this is going to work. But we need one more thing, and I wanted to bring you guys back in for us to make that. So this is the setup I have. So we have the millstone. It's pretty much the same. I think it's a little bit more compact. We've got the belt going, and it's going the correct direction, as you can see. And then we also have it hooked up to the fan that is blowing things out. We have our chute for anything we want to just wash. And I went ahead and got some more dried kelp. You know what? Let's go ahead and make a crafting table in here. That's not how you make a crafting table. Is it just 2? I can't remember. That is for a chest. Okay. How do I make a crafting table? So there is crafting stations, which we can make with a pattern. You know what? That is probably gonna... Oh, it's just... Okay. That's fine. I'll go ahead and make another chest, because why not? We can have this be our like to do. There's a couple more slimes that spawn, so I have a bunch more stuff, and we'll go ahead and throw that stuff in there. I should have some patterns. We'll go ahead and get a crafting station. I don't even know if this is a like quest or anything, but we're gonna make one because these things are wonderful. And we're going to make another belt, so mechanical belt, and we're just gonna put this here. So once this starts moving, we'll be good to go, right? So that's the hope anyways. So the thing that we need to make is we need to take this rotational force and turn it so it spins this guy. That's gonna be a pain, unless we make a gearbox. So a gearbox basically, I will ponder it so you guys can see. It takes rotation forces that are different axes, and just makes it all in one compact, container. Now to make it, we are going to need a log. Excuse you. We're going to need a log that has been made into the casing. And then it requires 4 cogwheels, which I've been making a bunch of these, just kind of experimenting. And this should be fine if we put it right here. And then we grab a few shafts. It's going the wrong way. I figured it would. Okay, so that's what we need. That works fine. But we need to make it a little bit differently. So let's grab that. And let's see, how do I want to do this? We need to put it basically over here. And I guess let's just dig into the wall and put it on this side. So I've been having issues with this water and it has been driving me crazy, but it's fine. We'll be fine. So I think if we put a cogwheel here, we're going to put the gearbox there. We're going to put shaft and drown ourselves apparently. Not quite what I wanted to do. I want to put shafts like so. And then we'll put some cobblestone up here. And that should make things a little bit better. Just break this stuff for the time being. And hopefully this works. We need this to be a cogwheel. That, and then we need one more. And that works perfectly. Perfect. So all we need to do now is break that, get rid of that, and yeah, that should be what we need. So to test things out, we can throw some gravel into this guy, or we'll just throw a bunch of sand in here. And did it do anything? No. Okay. So let's just throw one sand in here. Are you going to complete your process? No, of course not. So this needs more power. And to do that, we need to go from a big cogwheel to a small one. Unfortunately, that does not work because of rotation. So let's put that here. And I guess let's make another cogwheel. And I'm really not thinking about this. I probably should be. That is still the wrong way, but that should be faster. So we need we need more stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do more to this, but basic gist is we need to go from big to small a couple more times. And you know what we could probably do is just make a bunch more of all this stuff. And I want to make another big cogwheel. That's not how you make a cogwheel. And then we go big to small. And that's not what I wanted to do. To big to nope, that doesn't work. I've got to do it here. And that is a lot more speed. So I might have to do some more magic with the big cogwheels, but let's just throw a little bit of sand here. Yeah, that's going too fast on the conveyor belt now. Okay, so I still have a lot to learn with Create Mod, but this is important. What I need to do now is, honestly, I need to get another belt. And this is super, like, not how you should be doing things, but it's how I'm going to do things. And we're just going to get a belt and connect it underneath the water. So if we block this up and put a block of something here, it's what I figured. Oh man, okay. So break that for now. I still have a lot to figure out with this. So I thought I was ready. Secret, I'm not. But what I think we want to do, and I think what's going to help, is if we just kind of use a belt to connect things rather than cogwheels, because we're on the same, like, how do I want to say this? We're on the, ooh, more treasure. We're on the same speed, and I want the conveyor belt to go slow, but I want the fan to go fast, so that the fan will blow further and will work better. So if we can basically put a belt like so, it's gonna flood everything, but I guess what I could do is break into here. If you put like some place for the water to go, maybe I can clean things up and not have to worry about. Yeah, honestly, it doesn't matter too much if that's there or not. I need to clean things up. So we need a little bit more kelp. So I'm gonna have to wait on that. But let's go ahead and open these loot crates, because why not? We have, what, 4 uncommons? And I'm just going to dump everything in here for right now. And then I will figure things out once I have the stuff for the mechanical belts. But we have 1 common, which is exactly how much kelp we needed. Perfect. 4 uncommons. So we got pipe upgrade, hen house, a torch bow, and some dark prismarine. Torch bow. Does this work? That is really cool. Does it use my torches on my inventory? It does. That's really cool. I like that. That's gonna be fun to play with. Okay, so let's just dump this stuff in here for now. That is cooking. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to have the belt connected, and that should work just fine. This doesn't really matter too much. Let's pick up our stuff. As long as the belt turns, that's all that really matters. And hopefully I can figure this out. So I want to make this nice and compact. It's probably not going to be compact. I want it to be automatic. Probably not going to be automatic. It would be a lot easier if I just threw the items down and washed them, but that actually looks good. So let's just throw 2 in. And do either of them get washed before? No. Okay, how long does it take? Alright, let's throw 1 here. And I guess the other thing we could do is let's break this, break that, and we can make this so down here. I don't know that we can make the fan go too much faster, but we can make the belt longer. That does not affect anything. And let's try one more time. So if this works, I want to also test the chute. But come on, turn into something. Perfect. Now does the chute work? That's not how that works. Let's throw a couple things. So yes, it does. So if I threw all of this sand in here, it's going to presumably all turn. Indeed it does. And then it's going to fill up the conveyor belt. But I don't know. And I guess this is where we look at wrong thing. Let's just look at sand. Uses for sand. When we bulk wash, we get fluorite, which has nothing. It didn't look like. Nope, nothing we have to worry about. I guess let's look at clay. Clay is like the only thing that could probably be affected by, but it's not. And I don't think anything else. Apatite, nope. How about sulfur? Cool. So theoretically, anything that gets washed, it's whatever. So at this point, we just need to get a bunch of sand and gravel dealt with, and we'll get our clay. Cool. So this actually works. It's super ugly, but it works. Now the question I have is, can I fill that in so it looks a little bit nicer? Okay, cool. So I guess we can break this. We can break this, and we need to put a block there so that we can break it and get rid of the water. Awesome. So that is going to start giving us clay. Now, in order to make the Hopper Botany Pot, we need a flower pot, which is 3 clay plus 5 blocks of clay. That is a lot of clay. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to cut once again, because I want this Hopper Botany Pot so much. In fact, I want multiple of them. But if I can make one on camera, I'll make the rest of them off camera. And that doesn't matter too much to me. So what we're going to do, we're going to just process all this gravel because I don't really care. That's all going to get milled into some sand, but mostly we're going to get the coal, zinc, and iron, which is just going to go through the washing, no problem. We'll clean up the coal, I guess. And the important thing is the sand will get converted into everything. So we won't get any sand out of this, theoretically, but we'll get other stuff that's kind of important. Now, for our quest, we need a little bit of stuff. So what we're going to do is I'm going to get a stack of compressed cobblestone. I'm going to process it all with our hammer, and I'm going to sift things. So I'm going to throw a little bit of, I'm going to get a little bit of dust, but I'm going to get mostly sand because that's what we need for the clay. And once we have that, and we're ready to make the hopper botany pot, I will bring you guys back in. And we need, what, 20? 20. We have 7 out of 20. So, shouldn't be too terrible. But we'll go ahead and finish that quest up as well as just in general get some stuff done. So, I will bring you guys back in once we are ready to make the hopper botany pot. Alright, so all that gravel I threw in was more than enough to get the 20 clay and a bunch of other things. Even got some extra sand. Probably because I threw a bunch in and it didn't process, or who knows. But doesn't really matter. We are going to go ahead and smelt up the 5 pieces of clay. We have the 3 bricks, and we're also going to go ahead and wash some gravel as well as some dust because there are other things that we can get from that. So we're going to just set those here and make sure that they actually process. Throw the rest of the gravel. So, yep, certainly did. We get lapis, we get, looks like some iron nuggets. Let's just look up gravel, it'll be easier. There's some emeralds and there's some diamonds. So if we look at gravel, what we can get from washing, cinnabar, there are 2 different rolls of diamonds. We can get amethyst, iron nuggets, lapis. We got a good variety of things. And then once this all kind of gets through, we're going to put a little bit of dust because dust can give us redstone is kind of the most important thing. Bone meal is also kind of nice. And we got some redstone. And so this is all just to get all of these different quests kind of taken care of. Gravel wants us to have, oh, it doesn't want the diamonds, it wants the emeralds. All right, and what does it want for sand? We can do the copper, I guess. Perfect. So that is a lot of stuff. And we'll go ahead and process. I will process more stuff later because I'm going to want plenty more clay. I don't know if there is another good way to get clay. Let's find out. So there are these Terra cubes. That would be something. Milling dripstone. That's right. I did see that. We can get it from dripstone a little bit. Crushing dripstone. But honestly, it looks like copper. There's a loot bee. And then your passive stuff. So, okay, we have to. It's right there. That was an easy loot bee. Is it gonna drop any loot? Hey, I saved you. Didn't drop anything in there. So it just gave us something. I don't even know what it was that it dropped. Was it a carrot, maybe? Oh, wait, no. There's some stuff. Ooh, gave us a crystal chest. That is actually really nice. I'm going to regret this. We're going to put the crystal chest there because it is gigantic. And we can put all of this stuff in here and never have to worry about it. But I do need to grab, let's see, we're going to need our hopper and our flower pot. So the crystal chest is really nice. I wonder if we can turn it into a different one because the crystal chest can cause some lag because it does render some items in there. That is a furnace. Crystal chest. We can trap it and eventually we can make it into an energy condenser. So nope, not really, but that's fine. We got some flowers as well, so that's kind of cool. Anyways, there's a slime. Let's go ahead and make this Botany Pot. And why this Botany Pot is just so important. And it is actually really, really important. So let's grab... Okay, our terracotta is not done. We do have a common loot crate, though, that we just got. Fertilizer. Okay. So I am going to have to sort chests and all that kind of fun stuff between episodes as well, because we have a lot of just absolute junk. But anyways, let's make this hopping Botany Pot. I guess it is just called a hopper Botany Pot. And this thing is completely amazing. What we can do with this is we can make automatic farms for whatever crops we want. And the very first thing I'm going to do, and in fact, we could probably get a drawer. In fact, how do we make drawers again? Is it just the wood around it? Perfect. So what we're going to do right off the bat is we're going to make a drawer. Forgot what I was making there for a second. We're going to put it right there. We're going to put the hopper Botany Pot on top, and then it has this little inventory. And for this one, we are going to break that. We're going to grab some kelp, and I'm going to grab some water. I probably should have just grabbed the water from the kelp, but it's fine. And with this, we can put the bucket of water and the kelp in there, and you'll notice that we have a little piece of kelp. And it is slowly growing, and I don't know if we have, yes. So after 1 minute, it will give us another piece of kelp. So here in a minute, we will get more kelp. And that is a passive automatic farm for kelp. And the reason I did kelp first is because of dried kelp, which can be turned into mechanical belts, which are just kind of really important. There is a lot of other things that we need to do. Let's get the reward from that. Chainmail leggings. Hey, I don't have any leggings. Let's do that. There's a lot of other things that we can do. Trees would be nice to have a steady supply of just oak. And for something like that, we'll probably end up making a alt click, not control click. We'll probably end up making a 2x2 drawer, which is just four of these guys, and then just some more planks. And then something like this. So as you can see, we got kelp from that, and it will just kind of passively in the background make us kelp. So we'll get one for, at the very least, a oak tree, so that I get, you know, all of the wood. And we'll use the 2x2 because we will get wood as well as saplings. We'll get saplings. And if we look at the uses of this guy, we'll also get sticks and apples. So it is pretty useful to do this. And I will get enough. So we need, what, 23 clay in order to make one. We have just a little bit more, and I can always throw in more sand, process more sand in general, and eventually we will be able to get just a ton of clay. So that is going to be it for today's episode. This episode has gone on long enough, but we have automatic washing. After we mill our gravel, it turns into any sand we get turns into other resources. We have this really nice chest here that we can use, and yeah, I need to organize things up and plan what we're going to do next. We can make a no solicitor sign, so if we don't want any so flint, emerald, and I mean, we can go ahead and make that right now, but we won't. We'll wait till next time. So we can do a lot of things, and probably what we're going to work towards next time is, I don't know, I'll be honest, I don't know. We probably should do more create stuff, get more, start working towards the crushing wheels at some point. But that is going to take a lot more setup, and I don't know if we'll have enough power from just the water wheel. We'll probably have to get some more stuff together, but we'll figure things out. So that is going to be it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!